Hey, it's Navarro from IsraelNavarro.com, back here with another video showing you guys how to build a website with no technical skills. Believe it or not, I am not the most tech-savviest guy, and that's how I was able to launch IsraelNavarro.com. So basically, why is it good to have a website? Because if you're a blogger, you have a business, you have whatever you are is your brand, you want a website because not only is it great to have a social media presence, but you also want to be able to make sure you have a website. You know, you have an area where people can land so they can go within further. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 3 tips. I'm going to make this video very simple. You know, there is a lot of tips to building a website and everything, but I'm going to share you 3 tips which I think are the most important that you can do to help you build your website today. That's how easy it is, and this is something you can start today. So the first tip and the most important tip, and I think this goes with a lot of areas in your life, is planning. You have to plan your website. You have to decide what your website's going to be. You're going to have to, because when you, obviously it's great, it's like, I want to have a website. Okay, so what's your website? So decide what it is. Is it going to be an e-commerce page? Is it going to be a blog? Is it going to be a tutorial? Is it going to be a place where you can collect donations for your nonprofit? You decide what you want that page to be. You also want to understand who are you going to have interact. Because remember, you don't want to have a website. You want to have a website that would lead you to have interaction with those who are you're trying to prospect, those who you're trying to get leads from, those that you're trying to help grow as individuals. So you want to do that. Once you figured that out, what is the interaction you want to go there and you want to figure out what's your target market. On some of my previous videos, especially you can see them on YouTube, I do talk a lot about the importance of having a target market, you know, in which demographic you're reaching to, the age group, the race, the country, whatever it is. You really want to understand what is your target market so you can go from there and keep on growing. This this is a great time, especially when you're planning. This is a great opportunity so you can look at who is inspiring you. Let's say you're a blogger and you're inspired by Joe Rogan. You go and look at Joe Rogan. You're an entrepreneur and you want to establish a solid e-commerce business. So you go and look at probably what Amazon does or another small business that you knew is making high volume and profit. You go and look at their e-commerce page. You do stuff like that. And the other thing is you make the layout. So you want to make sure you have a layout. My website is very simple. It's just a layout. It takes you to the information so you can start receiving the email and get my free ebook. But you can also go from there and join my YouTube channel. That's basically the basic setup for my website. But for other things, you can have a layout too. Okay, if they did 1, you can have them do 2, you can have them do 3, because these websites really help you out, and especially on your business, your brand, your blog, whatever it is, it helps it out. So if you guys like this tip, give me a thumbs up. Let me say I like tip number 1. Let me know what you guys are enjoying. Now, here is tip number 2. Once you have planned basically your website, now you have to define your goals. Yes, your website is a goal. Your website is going to be a tool to help you advance the growth of your business. So one of the things you got to figure is my website going to be an e-commerce store? What are the goals I want to do in the sales for my website? You have to figure that out. If that's where it's going to have to lead you to make sure you have payments. What is that? What's the payment goals you're going to have? What is the shipping? Who are you going to partner with? FedEx, UPS, or any mailing service. You have to define that, because if your goal is to be an online store, you have to understand that part of that is payment. So how are you going to make payment an effective goal for yourself? How are you going to make that growth go for you? Now, if you're doing a blog, what is your goal? You want people to understand what are your hobbies? What are the tips you're going to share on your blogs? Or is this a page where people can land and hear perspectives and stories from you? These are the things you want to do, because when you do this, that is one thing. So you have to define that goal as a blogger for your website. Now, here's another point. If you're going to have a very modern website, well, one of the cool things about most modern websites is that you can also have them connected to your social media platform. While some people who land on my website obviously get my content and information from my social media, but let's say if they Google search, and then they can see that they can follow me also on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, they can on TikTok. They can see that I'm on other platforms where they can start also following me. So these are things you want to define the goal of your website so you can go on that way. And here's another cool tip. You know, sometimes you have to pay for your website. Obviously, if you're using a search, not a search engine, but like a website engine generator where you create the domains and everything. Well, here's the cool thing about that. You can actually put it like an appreciation where they can donate to you. They can actually, hey, donate $1 for my website. Hey, donate 1 Bitcoin. If they donate 1 Bitcoin, that's a very generous person because that's a lot of dollars if you sell that Bitcoin. But those are things you can do to help your website. Now, once you planned your goals, you define your goals, here is tip number 3. Using a website builder. Yes, you do not need to go out and magically get, how do you get the, www.com or www.org? How do you get to that? Well, you're going to use a website builder. One that I like to use, and I just find it the most easiest one to use, is GoDaddy.com. There's a few other ones I know that's out there, but GoDaddy.com is such a great one. It's the easy one you can use. You just go in there, you pay monthly, and you just use that. What's so good about these website builders? One, it's a DIY, do-it-yourself kind of place where you can, through them, they give you obviously tutorials, but you get to build your website just how you like it. Or yes, you can use the GoDaddy and still outsource. That's something you can always do. You're free to do that. The other thing is you can, once you choose an idea, it's pretty straightforward. If you want your website to be something that they can scroll up and down, if you want them to click multiple tabs, it's just going to be very straightforward because what these website builders do is they give you a template and you just follow that template and you just organize the templates how you want it and how you want people to see it. Now, here is the other thing, and this is one of the coolest things you can do, is that once you establish building your website and everything, you can go from there. Now, that's a very good question. How about Shopify? Yes, you can also use Shopify. It's another great tool that's especially great when you're focusing on doing e-commerce. It's something that I've actually recommended to a few people who are very interested in selling. They don't want to build a store or anything, and they want to really do the e-commerce thing. Shopify is the best one you can use because that's very great, and it gives you also one of the things I like about Shopify is you can actually use the link that once you set up your store and everything, you can take that link and you can just post it on your social media. You can text people, and the process of just growing your business online. And it's a great tool. It's free, obviously. Once you want to, obviously, the more you want to use or more you want to expand, obviously they do charge more, but it's a great free tool. So those are great. That's a great question, and thank you so much for asking that question. So if you guys have any more questions or anything you guys want to know, let me know. Also, I would just like to share with you guys, if you guys are very interested in growing your business on Instagram, especially in the link and even in the comment section below, if you're watching this video on replay, you go to my website, Navarro.com, you sign up, and you will automatically, within 24 hours, get my free ebook, Instant Profit Magnet, which is basically going to give you all the tips you're going to need to grow your business on Instagram. So thank you so much for joining me. If you guys have more questions, you can always feel free to reach me through direct message or put them in the comment section below. Thank you so much. God bless you, and hope to see you guys soon again.